Good evening, everyone. This is Robert Stevens here for the Robert Channel. And tonight I have your FEMA Daily Activity Operations Briefing for Thursday, the 12th of June of 14. Now let me turn over the camera.
Helping an ally, in this case, maybe, but I would say obligations too soon.
Thanks to Representative Adam Smith.
And there's the header.
The debate continues online at cnn.com/crossfire as well as
The Twin Bulls fire is now in its final report. Nothing in the North Atlantic Basin as far as tropical weather is concerned, but there's a major storm in the U.S. West Coast, Hurricane Cristina, but nothing in the Central Pacific. Shout out to thunderstorms source of the U.S. Throwing thunderstorms ahead of the cold front for the desert Southwest. Space weather has been brewing, but not too much. Only up to strong R3 radio blackouts. Then it'll quiet down to R1. Red flag warnings are in store for California, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. Elevated critical fire weather and dry thunderstorms California, Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Idaho. No activity in FEMA readiness. And a major disaster declaration of Vermont approved. Twin Bulls fire. And there you go. Yeah, everything's now fire's been mostly contained. Nothing in the Atlantic storm, but we do have something growing big. And it's Cristina, a hurricane. It's now a C3. According to the Saffir-Simpson Bumble scale.
Got these letters from sources in contact with the Taliban. She's going to tell us exactly what they say. First, though, we begin our
and it is
Barbara Starr out front line at the Pentagon. And Barbara, what have you learned about when Bergdahl is expected to return to the U.S.? The treatment that's going to await him, which I suppose could begin
anything in the Central Pacific.
That's right, Aaron. Good evening. All indications are he will land in San Antonio in the next 5 to 6 hours. He left
Nothing occurring in past
incidents. The treatment he's been undergoing, the so-called repatriation, will continue. What we are told is it will begin to focus more and more
East
on
Coast.
central issues. His medical, his
So,
health care, that will continue, of course, but also there will be psychological support
West
as he
Virginia.
moves closer to being reintegrated with his family and friends. Psychological support. There will be some
Turner.
debriefings, not just for intelligence gathering, but of course they want to talk to him about what happened, what led him to leave the base that night, where he believes he was taken, what his interactions with the Taliban might have been.
Over 20 major conditions, one emergency declaration. And now the National Weather Forecast. Should be raining here tomorrow. A little bit of Saturday morning here in the Boston area, but otherwise it looks good in the rest of the nation.
Do you know even if he has spoken to his parents? And I mean, obviously he hasn't seen them yet, but will he see them as soon as he lands?
Active watches and warning. Oh, great.
We don't know. And we don't know whether they have spoken by phone. We do not believe so. The military has said it does not believe so. There may have been some very private.
We have like a
we just simply
small craft advisory for boarding, but we have no other active watches or warnings in Boston area. And the precipitation forecast shows for what?
We're told it's when everybody is
3 is slowly diminishing. River forecast 0 gauges for major moderate, 30 for minor flooding. Nothing up here in Boston. During the storm.
All right. Thank you very much, Barbara Starr. And we have somebody
Slight chance of a thunderstorm.
Going to speak to us about what that was like when he first met his family.
And the same old story.
Along with Kimberly Dozier, who, as we said, is the Daily Beast reporter who obtained those letters that he wrote.
And then critical and elevated. Most of Nevada's covered under critical. And then day 2 it'll the Four Corners region. Oh no, in Nevada, California, no, Nevada mostly, upper northwest Arizona, and southern Utah.
And then some parts of it are blocked out, presumably by the Taliban.
extreme chance in southern tip of Nevada and northern Arizona, and a little bit of northern Arizona, a little bit of southern, looking at southern Utah.
The second letter, however, he is aware of the investigation into him and why he walked off the base. And he urges his parents to
High winds, heavy rain throughout the north central regions.
all of the evidence is in. He says that
High winds to the southwest, no hatches posted in Alaska. Nothing in the Boston area. And here it comes. It's picked up a bit, but not too bad. Type 3 radio blackouts we're experiencing in space weather. No, U.S. is not among it.
Even in these letters, which he wrote in the midst of what appears to have been a horrific captivity,
Sunspot activity.
that he was aware.
Radio blackouts are type 3, then it'll quiet down to type 1 tomorrow.
That's pretty significant in and of itself. He understood the magnitude of what.
And then the FEMA readiness.
it is, and yet I've got to play devil's advocate.
20, 30,
These were letters written
96, 67, 48, 83, 100 plus. Let's do that was a tricky one. As far as NRCC is concerned, they have more than what they have overall. HLT is just one. RCCs and RWCs, MOCs are both 100%.
Let me just be clear here. The Taliban could have been forcing him to write something, or they could have been in charge. You were forced to write to your family when you were being held in Iraq for nearly a year. What were those moments like? First of all, Kim was referring to maybe Bo Bergdahl. This was his moment in the sunshine, or his moment in the light, where he's actually able to see and write. Was it like that for you?
No, maybe the gang totally has control of what you write. When I did mine, they just set a piece of paper in front of me.
And then we have a rundown of past weather events in Alabama.
And they wanted me to print it and not write it in script because they couldn't read it.
And then severe storm tornadoes and straight line winds and flooding from April 28th to May 5th. 294 total staff.
In my case, they told me every single word to write down.
And when you were writing, was that a time, because I know you were...
And there's a lowdown.
Kept in a very small space, there was no light. Were you allowed to come out?
And that's it.
Letters, or did they go down?
That's all, folks.